I grew up in an era where social media meant lifting the phone and calling your friends or going to their house and knocking at their door. And then maybe a decade later, as the internet came along, you had email groups, and that's basically the beginning, as I see it, of social media. But I beg to ask, is social media giving stupid a microphone? Well, basically, that's going to be a different title here. It's going to be Who Gave Stupid the Microphone? Well, I kind of tend to blame now social media. And I'm not saying social media is bad. In fact, I think there's an advantage for social media for connecting the world, making it a very small place. But I've seen things on the internet that, and on social media itself, that, well, that's the word I use, is cringy. I mean, I've been a live chat moderator for a few channels, YouTube channels, before going into my own channel as well. Um, I've been mostly active with New York-based walking live streams, and you know, as a moderator, this comments, and the same thing goes to comments to videos, and I'll be reaching out later to talking about what people put out on social media. Um, let's start with my experience. In terms of moderating and also focusing on content that people bring out. Um, Back in the early 2000s, I was a very active with email groups. Basically, it's a it's the early stages of chatting. There were already ICQs and sort of those platforms, but email groups were the kind of environment that I was introduced into, and you got you get to know people from what they write and what they show. Um, and as the years go by, and as the internet progresses, you see what people are doing on the internet. And I'm not here to venture into certain issues like politics or religion. No, I'm here to just simply magnify or show a side of social media that tends to be, um, well, it's a bit of a stain as I see it. Um, Let me give you a few examples of the things that I'm talking about. Um, for walking live streams, which I follow, again, I am very active in New York walking streams. So those streamers and those content creators would clearly put in the title NYC Live, NYC Walking, and as much information on the title as you can, because that's basically how people would get to know what your video is about. And yet on the live chat, you'd see people asking, "What city is this?" It's almost evident, or it's not even evident, it's just plain fact that they're not reading the title. No one is reading the title. The title is the most important thing. You would open a video and not read the title. Are you that lazy to do so? So that's one example. And then you have comments. Uh, there are very many facets to it that are a little. Some people watch or hate, what they call hate watch. They love to watch content that they hate just for them to be able to comment something hateful. I don't know. Maybe it's a it's a high it's a makeup to hiding the flaw in their lives, I guess. But still, you know, there's this thing that I've heard before that says, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Some people need to learn that sometimes. Because even if you say, oh, no offense, but I will say something offensive. It's, I don't know, what do you think about it? Whether it's irony, but it's also, well, as my title would show, dumb. Now, I'm not claiming I'm the smartest tool in the shed. Heck, I always say that I'm dumb. I'm not smart. I see things as they are. But then you see things like this and it makes you wonder. Wonder why. It makes it ask the question, why would they do that? Or why would they say that? Here's another example. I was watching a reel on Instagram, and it was about a certain supermarket product that's very popular. It's still being sold today, and the reel was talking about the history of that product. And on the comments, I shared that the product reminds me of a traumatic experience I had. And I got a reply comment saying, who cares about your trauma? Who cares about why do people keep putting out their traumas? I mean, can't you be at least a little empathetic? Your lack of empathy shows your lack of development in your brain. And maybe that's it. Maybe because people don't have the brain cells for it anymore. I grew up in an age where you survive on your own. You survive. You learn your lessons through experience, not on what you see online or not what you see on TV. And maybe that's it. Maybe people are too focused on content rather than learning what's behind the content or what's in between the lines. And it makes me wonder how we could have evolved in that manner or devolved in that manner. Now I'm not gonna mention the channel, but there is this one slightly large YouTube channel that I've followed for almost 6 years now. Yeah, almost 6 years. And the channel was about travel. It was about exploring cities, you know. And this creator would take time sometimes to answer questions from his audience, you know. And it wasn't me. I didn't ask the question. Someone from the chat brought up the question that would they visit Manila? Now he had like many excuses and all about other cities, but the one thing that struck me was that I'm a little bit anxious about going to Manila because of crime. I mean, so many so many places have crime. You think New York City isn't immune from crime? I was just watching the other day about a man being pushed onto a incoming subway in New York City. Should that be should that be an indicator that people shouldn't go to New York City? No. Yes, every place has a crime. Every place has a good thing and a bad thing. And I think you should completely judge it without even experiencing it. That's what I say. Despite all the bad publicity I see about New York, I still like watching watching content from New York. You know, and to quickly judge that, oh, I will, I don't want to go there because there's a lot of crime. That is just presumptuous, and my title would say stupid. And it was saddening because I've been following this channel for a very long time. Um, I admire the content that this channel is putting out. Uh, but it just, I don't know. I think that I think the channels like that want to feature cities but only want to feature all the glamour, the high end type of the city. I think you're not exploring cities. I think you're just exploring dreams that only about 2% of the world can afford. And you know, I admire people like Action Kid who have explored cities like Bangkok, Vietnam. Yes, he has reservation about going to Manila, but it was because of of him being able to do live streams. Because yes, admittedly, Manila isn't really meant for live streams, especially walking like he does. But he knows that there's content here, and there are many content creators that have come here. Um, One I would mention is CB Media, who features plenty about car culture. I like his channel. He actually, what he did was he lived in Thailand for 8 years, and then just very recently, just last year, I think he moved here in Manila. He still has a place in Thailand, but he moved in Manila because he considers places like Manila, Bangkok, you know, as a place that he feels comfortable with. But to completely judge it as, oh, I can't go there because of crime, it, it was it was saddening. Now, frankly, this comment that creator gave was a few years ago, and I should have made and I wanted to actually do a video about it, but you know, out of respect of following that person for a while, I didn't want to. Plus, I actually don't want to mention the name of the channel. Um, so yeah, sir, if you're exploring cities, you're not you're not exactly exploring cities if you're just going to one place or to certain places that you're more familiar with, right? I admire YouTubers who go through like places like I was watching videos that came from Bolivia, from Chile. I forgot the name of that channel. It's not Pro Walks, I think, but I used to love watching those kind of videos when I had the chance. So there you go. I mean, I don't want to make this too long of a video about stupidity on the internet, but it begs the question, you know, is social media giving stupid a microphone? Let me know what you think. And I hope you enjoy your day. I'll see you soon back here at the Metro. Bye, folks.